Please wait for the leader to admit you to the meeting.
Looks good.
Thank you for your patience.
Do you want to start?
Yes.
Scott, start.
Adequate notice of this meeting was provided in accordance with Chapter 231, Public Law 1975, Senator Byron N. Bear, Open Public Meeting Act.
Okay, can we pause for a little silent meditation? Okay, Commissioner Pearson, would you like to pledge allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Commissioner Pearson. Here. Commissioner Musso. Here. Commissioner Capizola. Excused. Commissioner Saleo.
Here.
Commissioner Lodes. Here. Deputy Director Romero.
Here.
Director Albright.
Here. Okay, I think the gentleman may have just walked in, I saw. We're going to have a presentation from Robert Welch from the Cumberland County Fire Police. If he, I think I saw him walk in.
He's here.
He's here, okay.
As we speak.
Yeah, maybe we could do that. That's a good idea. Let's open it for public comments.
Do I have a motion and second?
Second.
All in favor? All right. So anyone who wishes to approach the mic, and they have 5 minutes to just tell us your name and what's that? That's it. Just tell us your name and where you're from. So, yeah, I'm ready.
I think your gentleman's here.
Yeah, we're gonna do the public, then you're gonna come on up to them. Okay.
Good evening, I'm Nancy Ridgway from Upper Deerfield and Fairfield Townships. You have a resolution tonight awarding a fair and open professional service contract for providing building inspection and evaluation report for the Wood Elementary School building located at 700 Archer Street, Millville. And they were pre-qualified. Can you tell me what we're going to be using this building for, and why are we doing it when it looks like that the Millville Board of Education owns the building currently?
Yeah, I'll
Have we bought it?
No, we didn't buy it. We're doing our due diligence.
So why are we going to spend $130-some thousand dollars?
Because we, Ms. Ridgway, we hope that it's, we've already toured the building, we went through the building, we got our own in-house cost estimates, but we still want to know how much it's going to cost us to renovate this building when we do buy it. And the price that we've asked for is $1 and the idea is to consolidate some of our departments under one roof, which makes management a lot easier. That's what we're trying to do.
Okay, well, the building is not handicapped accessible.
That's part of what we're looking at.
There's
So,
no elevator.
no.
It's not on a main road that is
No.
transportation, public transportation
About 2 blocks from
accessible.
High Street. So,
That's a long way to walk for a little girl like me.
well, I'm sorry, but it can't be everywhere. So,
It just doesn't really make any sense when this building was built in 1915,
well,
and it doesn't have central air, and it's going to cost millions of dollars for us to fix this building up to be used for an office building.
it's in a neighborhood that needs some attention, and if we could add that, the neighborhood, we may not lose that neighborhood, actually may bring that neighborhood back together. That's part of what we do. Also, for the cost of purchasing the building, we think it's well worth it because it's probably going to be cheaper to lower than building a building. That's what we're looking at. And you said for the cost, that's what we're doing right now, is to figure out what is the cost to do all those things you said. So,
Well, that's a lot of money, and it's not your money. You got to remember that.
I'd rather spend money wisely than not. And the idea is to get an idea of what
It's
it's
a
going to cost
residential
us.
neighborhood.
What's that?
It's a residential neighborhood where this school is.
Yes, it's in a residential, yes, it's in a tough neighborhood. We're going to try to bring this neighborhood, stabilize this neighborhood by being good
Is it the
citizens.
county's responsibility to stabilize neighborhoods?
If I can, I would. So is it our responsibility? If it's part of a result of what we're trying to do, yeah, why not?
I asked you months and months ago to spend the money and build a jail and build an office building on top of the jail. And that was throughout the window, and that would have been a new building, and everything would have been in a central location. You could have went up 12 stories. That would have been a
Sounds
nice
good.
office
Yeah,
building.
we have $45 million left to do it. We still have to get a jail. So that's what it's dedicated to do. And that is a concrete pad right now, and maybe it's a good location for all our operations in Bridgeton. We have operations in Millville also, and we can consolidate. Okay?
Sounds like you're throwing bad money into an old building.
Yeah, I understand. I see your opinion. All right, anyone else?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, Steve.
Dean Hall, Upper Deerfield. On this thing here, I'm just getting into it, but you said maybe we can revive the neighborhood, build the neighborhood. How are you going to do it?
He did say Dean. He did say his name. You want to repeat your name just to,
Dean Hawk.
you know?
Okay. How are you going to improve the neighborhood? And that was a statement you made, and I'm telling you, you'll live by that for a long time.
Mr. Hawk, I'm not trying to improve the neighborhood. I said it could help improve the neighborhood. We're
By
trying.
how? By how? By how? That's the question.
Well, no. All I'm worried about is we're getting a building to consolidate operations of the county government. That's in Millville. That's my goal. And if off of that, and I'll give you an example. If we pull this off, we've been offered by the city of Millville to house a little precinct for the police department there too, which I'll take them up on. So these are the things that the city of Millville's also got involved because they see the benefits of us being there. There's also a park across the street. There's also another empty building across the street, an old Catholic school that's there also. So there's potential for other things to happen. But right now, I'm only worried about the Wood School. 3 stories of a solid building. We're looking to see if it could be handicap accessible, air conditioned, windows, roof, all that stuff. We're looking. We don't know. We're looking to see what needs to be done.
My problem is you're saying we want to consolidate. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, you're going from Bridgeton to Millville. And when we already have a building here and buildings around this town, it just doesn't seem right that you're
Mr. Hawk.
spreading out and saying that's how we're going to
What is the Board of Health? Which is
bring it together.
Mr. Hawk, there's already built facilities in Millville that we pay right now, buildings. There are already facilities in Millville we would like to consolidate, not this area, that area.
All right.
All right?
Yeah, thank you.
Most of them.
Appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you. Anyone else?
Do I have a motion second to close public comment?
Do I have a motion? Second? Second. All in favor? Aye. All right. Robert, if you'd like to approach the mic, and I appreciate you taking the time to come on over.
Yeah, I want to apologize for my tardiness. Our agency actually just got tuned out here in Bridgeton for a massive dwelling fire. So, hello, my name is Robert Welch. I'm president and administrator of the Cumberland County Fire Police. The Cumberland County Fire Police Association has been serving the county since 1951 when it was signed into corporation by the Cumberland County Sheriff's Office and the county government at the time. During that period, the organization served under the guidance of the Cumberland County Sheriff's Department. Since then, we've been under the guidance and command of the Cumberland County OEM and the Cumberland County 911 Director. These agencies have come from serving individual companies through the county to being a separate autonomous agency of our own with the assistance of the Cumberland County Commissioners and the Cumberland County OEM and 911 Director. Our mission has progressed over from serving the county fire departments to now serving all county first responders, both fire and EMS, along with assisting local municipality police departments and New Jersey State Police when in need of our services. We continue to advance our mission to assist all agencies in the county, especially the police department and New Jersey State Police, since we understand the importance of having unlimited resources that they have tied up on traffic control and road closures or even security on scenes if requested. We also understand that with the budgets in mind, these departments cannot afford to constantly pay for overtime in these tedious assignments where they're more needed to prevent crimes and be on the streets. With our service, we have continued to assist these departments in every and all perspectives to reduce the strain on their resources also. Cumberland County Fire Police currently received $11,000 as a stipend through the commissioners, but luckily this year with your support, we've increased that from the county commissioners to pay for insurance that covers all officers and equipment under the organization's control. Our organization is a nonprofit company with no other sources of income other than the stipend we receive from the county commissioners. Our organization appreciates everything that the county commissioners, along with the 911 director, has done for us over the several months for us to continue to provide safety to all first responders, fire, EMS, and law enforcement. So, just a breakdown of the calls that we did last year. Fire calls that our agency was dispatched to was 19 major fire calls. Rescue or MVC, major MVC assignments, 66. Special assignments, depending on what they were, 55. We had a total of 2,909 man hours that we put out. All of our officers are volunteer to do this job on their own time with their own vehicles and put out their own wallets to do the service that we strive to provide. Thank you for your consideration and help in all matters from the agency. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Robert.
Yeah.
They just make a comment. Well, okay. Do you guys have any comments to?
For Mr. Welch?
Yeah.
I just think you're doing a fine job. I think in the future, hopefully, we can assist you further, and hopefully maybe some more funds once we get ourselves back on our feet and do the things that we've been doing, which we've been very careful with the budget, and we want to continue to do so. We don't want to raise the taxpayers one iota, that we still can help you well.
No, I know the fire police does a great job. They always help out the townships. I see them all over. So, I mean, thank you for everything that you do, and we're here to help you. So,
Thank you.
Mr. Pearson, anything?
I have nothing to say, this, they have cover it all. We're very thankful for the work you do.
Thank you so much for all your service.
Thank
Very much
you.
appreciate it. We couldn't do it without you. I know there's a lot of long hours, long nights sometimes, but it doesn't go unnoticed. And I know you guys have really kind of struggled sharing space with other facilities, and we just want you to know that we very much appreciate you.
Thank you.
And I'll just say that, just because a lot has been said, is that you guys, you do a heck of a job, and like you said, you're all volunteers, and it's tough for people to volunteer a lot of things, because the people do. You guys get called out at all hours, go out there, and sometimes literally take your life in your hands, because you're sitting there blocking traffic, and some people don't recognize that sometimes. So we'll do what we have to do to help you as much as we can, within reason that we can do, and we appreciate the job you do with all the communities you're involved with, and the fire and police and state troopers also. I know they rely on you, because they can't sit while you guys sit and do the mundane stuff, I guess. So I appreciate it. Thank you. All right, I guess we can go to next, the consent agenda.
No, this is resolutions that you're voting
Resolution.
on tonight.
All right, let's go to resolutions we will vote on tonight.
Resolution 2023-
553, resolution awarding fair and open professional service contract for providing building inspection and evaluation report for the Wood Elementary School building located at 700 Archer Street, Millville, pre-qualified for RFQ number 22-53, resubmission as needed, general architectural and engineering consulting. Do I have a motion and second?
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Pearson?
Yes.
Commissioner Musso?
Yes.
Commissioner Saleo?
Yes.
Commissioner Lodes?
Yes.
Deputy Director Romero?
Yes.
Director Albright?
And just one comment is that we've gone as far as we can in-house to look at this, and that's why now we're taking the step. It's covered. We've looked at it all ways we can, had all our people go over there, see it, met with the Board of Education, did all the things we could do ourselves, and this is the next step, the next logical step to actually get a real hardcore number if it's worth it. So it's yes.
Director, basically, it's just to see if this is a viable option.
See if it's a viable option.
County, we get professionals who are going to look at the building, look at the location, to see if it makes sense to pursue renovating.
The handicap access, all
If it doesn't work, it doesn't.
done, so.
All right, and to your point, Commissioner Pearson, Ms. Ridgway, you did raise some good points
Yes.
today. Those are concerns that we share as well. But there are a lot of attributes, I think, in that building as well that, are worth considering. So we're going to go to the professionals to see if the good outweighs the bad.
And one thing, if I may add too, we talked about bringing other departments. It could save the county money because we're not paying out if we have to pay rent. We would actually own the building, so it could save the county money.
The Board of Health really needs.
I didn't
Space.
I didn't want to name.
They're out, they're growing,
Yeah.
they're needed. They're needed.
Not thrown there.
There are 3 different buildings. They've outgrown what they've
So
got,
it
so.
could save us money because they have a lease.
And when we can say consolidate, it's just about, not necessarily geographically, but putting all of those different offices into one unified building. That was the consolidation part. So I hope this works, because we are making an investment in the research, so I do hope that this works.
Yes, we do. All right. Next.
Resolution 2023-554, resolution authorizing execution of a memorandum of agreement between Local 2327, United Auto Workers of America, AFL-CIO, and the County of Cumberland for the period commencing January 1st, 2020 through December 31st, 2027. Do I have a motion and second?
So moved. Second?
Commissioner Pearson?
Yes.
Commissioner Musso?
Yes.
Commissioner Saleo?
Yes.
Commissioner Lodes?
Yes.
Deputy Director Romero?
Yes.
Director Albright?
Yes, and it's good yes. It's good that we finally got to this point, so it's, and people that come to this meetings often see the group that's here. Was a lot of effort by a lot of people in this room to get this done, and and I think, it'll get us on the right footing for a few years now, so.
And another contract that's settled.
Another contract.
Within this administration.
That's right,
Thank
so.
you very much, everybody.
All right, and yes.
Resolution 2023-555, resolution authorizing the Cumberland County Department of Corrections to hire entry-level officers under new legislation exempting an examination. Do I have a motion and second?
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Pearson?
Yes.
Commissioner Musso?
Yes.
Commissioner Saleo?
Yes.
Commissioner Lodes?
Yes.
Deputy Director Romero?
Yes.
Director Albright?
Yes, and it's also, I'm very glad that we are taking advantage of this program and we're moving forward. And actually, Commissioner Saleo we took a tour of the jail and we got to meet some new officers that just walked in. It was very, it's good to see some new people involved and new faces, and we're moving in the right direction. So,
And yes, and again, our administration is doing a fine job of moving these things forward. Our new director, Chuck Albino, who is also doing a great job at the jail, and will continue to do so as long as he stays with us, which I'm sure he's going to stay a long time now. Good 20 years. I'm putting pressure on you, Chuck.
Resolution 2023-556, resolution authorizing and creating position of a county reentry coordinator for the Cumberland County Department of Corrections pursuant to NJSA 30:8-16.19. Do I have a motion and second?
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Pearson?
Yes.
Commissioner Musso?
Yes.
Commissioner Saleo?
Yes.
Commissioner Lodes?
Yes.
Deputy Director Romero?
Yes.
Director Albright?
Yes.
Resolution 2023-557, resolution authorizing payment of bills. Do I have a motion and second?
Second.
Commissioner Pearson?
Yes.
Commissioner Musso?
Yes.
Commissioner Saleo?
Yes.
Commissioner Lodes?
Yes.
Deputy Director Romero?
Yes.
Director Albright?
Yes. All right, I guess we're going to review next week's agenda. Before we start, can we have the public comments? No, we're not going to do that, just going to review. All right, we're just
No,
going to...
we do have public comment. No, I'm looking at the wrong one. We do go right into agenda.
Okay, no public comments at all?
After.
Okay, no problem. All right, so we're going to go, do I have a motion to go, not at all?
Not yet. I'm just reading.
All right, just read it. Can put it off, but go ahead and read it.
Resolution 14359, resolution awarding fair and open professional service contract to conduct a preliminary assessment for Mid-County Park to construct a 5.2-mile permanent trail system, RFP 23-24. Resolution 14450, resolution acknowledging submission of a grant application and authorizing execution of a grant agreement with the Juvenile Justice Commission for the 2024 Juvenile Detention Alternative Initiative and Innovations Funding. Resolution 14451, resolution approving budget amendment FY23 Local Efficiency Achievement Program Fellowship Grant, $56,301. Resolution 14454, resolution authorizing the award of a non-fair and open contract for providing support and maintenance for Precinct Central Proprietary Software and Maritime Mobile Device Management for the Cumberland County Board of Elections. Resolution 14456, resolution authorizing submission and acceptance of child advocacy development grants, treatment services, programs, technology, and capital improvements for the Cumberland County Prosecutor's Office. Resolution 14458, resolution authorizing approval to submit a grant application and to execute a grant agreement with the Juvenile Justice Commission for the CY 2024 Comprehensive County Youth Services Commission Plan and Application. 14460, resolution declaring 1 RSD 5 zone body ARPA security scanner, asset number 08268, used by the Department of Corrections as surplus and unneeded property and declaring as e-waste for recycling by the CCIA. 14465, resolution authorizing application and participation with the State of New Jersey Department of Law and Public Safety for the FFY21 Victims of Crime Act Grant Program, County Sexual Assault Response Team Forensic Nurse Examiner Program. 14466, resolution authorizing the award of a non-fair and open contract for providing software annual support and maintenance services for the jail management system at the Cumberland County Department of Corrections. Resolution number 14467, resolution exercising first option to renew contract for providing and delivering rock salt for the County of Cumberland and to participating members of the Cumberland County Cooperative Contract Purchasing System Identifier number 181-CCCCPS. Number 14468, resolution consenting to temporary closing of the following county roads: Noble Street, CR 744, Bypass Road, CR 649, Haleyville Road, CR 676, Ackley Road, CR 718, Dividing Creek Road, CR 555, Newport Road, CR 629, Buckshootum Road, CR 670, Millville Fairton Road, CR 698, and Cedarville Road, CR 610, on Sunday, August 27, 2023, from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. for the Competition Dirt Riders 2023 Annual Motorcycle Parade.
It says this is an annual event. I don't remember ever voting on this. Is this the first time they're going to be in the county doing this, or is this something they have been doing?
I don't remember that either.
Yeah.
I remember the event occurring, but as to the vote, I can't say that I remember if it's appropriate for a vote.
Who's,
Doesn't account
Is this
for
the
issue.
first one? Is this the first?
It's not the first event, no. I know I've been held up by at least the motorcycles.
So I thought-
so we know what's happened.
This is the first time maybe they went along this route.
It's possible that the route changed.
Yeah.
And I was down there this morning, and the road's already painted with lines and everything, counting on the road.
And it's not till August 27th, so they're ahead of
I mean,
schedule.
it's all painted
No
up.
pressure.
Is this, do we know, is it open to, like, whoever shows up wants to ride? I mean, is it, did we, who's requesting it? Is it the
I think you need
township?
to ride a motorcycle.
We need to ride a motorcycle. Well,
You can't just get your bike and
well, I mean, we have kids, people
Right
ride
across
all
the
over, it'd
street
be great.
from the motorsports park,
Yeah.
there is a very large, very
Yeah.
well-attended track where
Yeah.
you see young people on
Yeah.
motocross bikes all the time, riding on the dirt. Sometimes if it hasn't rained, you ride by and it's like a smoke blast. And it's, the race is coming from that location, I
That's
think.
what I
I think the application went to Neil Riley because of the property
Because of
he's
the
on.
closing of the
It
bridge.
may be able to
Yeah.
answer your question.
Well, it's just that, because there's a lot of people that ride on the roads, that maybe the word to get out that they could actually legally ride on our roads, you know.
This is just a road crossing essentially. It's not,
Yeah.
it's not riding on your roads. It's
Oh, just
it's getting
crossing.
across them.
Yeah.
To be fair, which is why the cars are held up.
Yeah.
So you probably have to have a track to get that big distance.
All right.
Yeah.
That's something the fire police maybe can offer. Are you familiar with it?
I've heard of it, but we're always open to helping them whenever they need us.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Sorry. Good.
Number 14470, resolution approving the safety management plan for the Cumberland County Area Transit System. Number 14471, resolution approving change order number 2 to contract for federal road program, cities of Bridgeton and Millville, and townships of Commercial and Down, Cumberland County, New Jersey, bid number 20-73. Resolution number 14472, resolution approving budget amendment FY20, Edward Byrne Memorial Justice Assistant Grants, JAG-1-6TF-20, in the amount of $64,389. Number 14473, Community Support Services, Older Americans Act Services for the Elderly and Disabled for the 2022 through 2024 Area Plan Contract, RFP 21-50. Number 14474, resolution approving change order number 1 to contract for providing community support services, Older Americans Act services for the elderly and disabled for the 2022-2024 Area Plan Contract, RFP 21-50. Resolution number 14475, resolution authorizing increase of monetary ceiling for legal expenses in the litigation matter of Raymond Lamar Brown et al. Versus County of Cumberland, U.S. District Court, District of New Jersey, docket number 1:20-CV-7907-NLH-KMW in accordance with NJAC 5:30-5.3 through NJAC 5:30-5.5.
John, Mr. Carr, could you, when this is read, can you just make a comment on where we're at, whatever publicly we said, so that people know what we're doing with that? Just
Sure, do you want that for next week, or you want me to talk about it?
if you, so there's people here, if you just want to say, when we go read it, you just say, hey, here's where we're at, and how far along we're at.
Sure, so this particular, are we referencing 14475?
Yes, the one we just read, yes.
On 14475, this is a action for injunctive relief brought as a class where a federal district judge has appointed a firm to handle the matter on a pro bono basis. There was a deposition yesterday. The case is proceeding on dual tracks because it's also in mediation before retired federal Judge Wolfson, who is trying to help the parties achieve a resolution, but it's also on a track of seeking to prepared for trial. This particular invoice is for one of the attorneys involved in the litigation because they're separate parties that the county is responsible for, not all of them with absolutely equal interests.
Mr. Carr?
Yes.
Is there a time when these first became litigation, at what time in what year? Was that
Yes.
litigation?
Off the top of my head, I'm going to tell you, I believe 2021, this matter was filed. I can confirm that.
And in 2020 was filed, so the incident occurred in 2020?
So this is essentially brought about the alleged lack of constitutional standards with COVID. So we had 2020 constitutional complaint that was filed originally pro se, and then was of course granted approval by the federal district judge, not only for filing, but for approving.
Again, another result from the jail.
That's correct.
Thank you.
Do you want me to go on?
Well,
We haven't read it.
let the, it's kind of spotty.
14476, resolution authorizing increase of monetary ceiling for legal expenses in the litigation matter of Brown Clark et al. Versus Charles Warren, U.S. District Court, docket number 1:20-CV-7907.
This is the central focusing firm that's handling the county interests. The last firm is handling a county interest in the litigation. This is the firm that is doing the heavy lifting on this case. In fact, I talked to Mr. De Palma about half an hour ago.
And the same answer is applied, right?
That's correct. And you're going to hear more about this litigation, things that I wouldn't say here and now, in executive session.
Correct. I just want to bring that to, I'm sure Mr. Bob will bring in names, and certainly people were very interested in this last time.
Sure.
You were here. I missed you last week, by the way, the last meeting, because you were out mowing the lawn. So, and you were looking for dinner, I understand. So, but anyway, to make a long story short, he was interested in the last presentation, and just want to make sure that you understand that this has been ongoing for several years now, and that's why you're seeing such a cumulative number of these things.
Thank you.
It's hard.
Number 14477, resolution authorizing increase of monetary ceiling for legal expenses in the litigation matter of Brown Clark et al. Versus Charles Warren, U.S. District Court, docket number 1:20-CV-7907, in accordance with NJAC 5:30-5.3 through NJAC 5:30-5.5.
Same litigation, another county interest. I'll be addressing this evening in executive session. And I can tell you that this body has always been amenable to trying to look at ways to aggressively get rid of litigation. And that would be the nature of me addressing you this evening.
Thank you. All right, thanks.
Number 14478, resolution approving change order number 1 to contract for Community Support Services Older Americans Act services for the elderly and disabled for the 2022 through 2024 area plan contract, RFP 21-50. Number 14479, resolution authorizing increase of monetary ceiling for legal expenses in the litigation matter of CCJ Energy Partners, LLC versus Cumberland County, docket number Cumberland L 713-20. Witness representation for deposition testimony of Gerald Sineski in accordance with NJAC 5:30-5.3 through NJAC 5:3-5.5.
Any comment?
Sure. So this is the energy project that was related to the jail project, and this was preparation of your former CFO and attendance at the time of the deposition. And it was separately represented from your primary counsel on this matter because, of course, he's entitled to speak his mind. And if there was any chance that he would speak against the county, he should be entitled to do so.
We have to.
The deposition argument, and he did not.
All right. We have to provide defense.
It is appropriate.
Yeah.
If someone has acted in the line of their obligation on behalf of the county, to provide them representation to the extent that they're involved in litigation arising out of their role.
When you see that statute, what he just said is what it means, that the county has an obligation to provide representation to that person, and we do it with a reservation of rights. If the person is shown to have stepped outside of their
line of duties.
Step outside of their line of duties, we don't have to represent them, but when they are having action taken against them alleging that they behaved in a particular way in their line of duty, we have an obligation to provide a defense to them. And if you have 7 or 8 defendants in a case, which you have in this one, you have to provide separate representation to each of them so that, as the solicitor said, they can provide an appropriate representation to the person.
We did have a ruling, just, and you're going to talk to us about it, but 2 weeks from now, you could at least give a follow-up on that, what
I'll
occurred.
be addressing it this evening.
Yeah, but 2 weeks from now, you could tell what has occurred so far. Okay. All right.
14480, resolution authorizing increase of monetary ceiling for legal expenses in accordance with NJAC 5:30-5.3 through NJAC 5:30-5.5 for workers' compensation matter of Barbara Eckert versus County of Cumberland.
So this is a workers' compensation case. It would have been assigned back when the complaint came in. It would not have been this year. I can't tell you what year it came in. And what we do is we try never to move cases from a firm and incur extra legal costs. We try to have that firm continue and finish this case. I can't say that I'm exactly up to speed because our insurance commission manages these cases for the most part, except at the point where it comes to the insurance commission, which of course I represent as a part of my duties, for a final resolution. So for instance, a Section 20 closing the workman's comp case out, that would be something I would be involved in as to the day-to-day litigation of that.
Okay, thank you.
And I don't see those bills.
14481, resolution adopting revision to county personnel policy manual. Resolution 14482, resolution adopting revision to county personnel policy manual. Number 14483, resolution authorizing assignment of the matter of an investigation of a complaint made by an employee of the Board of Elections. Number 14484, resolution approving change order number 1 to contract for providing community support services, Older Americans Act services for the elderly and disabled for the 2022-2024 area plan contract, RFP 21-50 resubmission 2. 14485, resolution declaring September 2023 as National Recovery Month. 14486, resolution approving budget amendment 2023 Federal Road Program, CR, $548,670,699. $2,900,000. Is that right?
$2,900,000.
Yeah, what's the CRs?
County road.
County road.
Sorry, I'm saying number.
It's the number, County.
Yeah, 548.
54860, 670, 699. $2,900,000. I was reading it
So
over.
promised, you like it.
I did. I did. I thought it was a little higher, but no. 14487, resolution approving change order number 1 to contract for providing various social services for the Cumberland County Youth Services Advisory Council, RFP number 20-62. 14488, resolution recognizing August 31st, 2023 as International Overdose Awareness Day and inviting all to attend the 7th Annual Overdose Awareness Candlelight Vigil on August 24th, 2023 at the Cumberland County Fairgrounds.
And I hope everybody can make that. It's great.
14489, resolution canceling expired contracts for August 2023 covering materials, services, and supplies. 14490, resolution authorizing purchases from state contract vendors. 14491, resolution authorizing shared services agreement between the Cumberland County Prosecutor's Office and the City of Bridgeton, the City of Millville, and the City of Vineland regarding the automated license plate reader. 14499, resolution approving change order number 1 to contract for the Rowan Medicine Building project.
Is that they're putting in the new, since Rowan didn't had their own proprietary software, not software, whatever their system was that they changed, is that, I don't understand, is this the, okay, sorry.
So this is a change order to add in the data wiring, a nurse alert call system, a sound masking system while the walls are open. This wasn't included in the original bid specs, but it was included in the original budget for the project. The reason it wasn't in the bid specs was because we were working with Rowan University, who at the time we were under the impression was going to end up doing the contract themselves and we would reimburse. Since then, Rowan University has partnered with Virtua, and now Virtua is at the table at the construction meetings making requests for certain specific things. So now that Virtua is involved, they gave the equipment list. Most of the, I think, they're on either a cooperative contract or a state contract. So it makes sense to do it as a change order underneath this, since everyone will have to supervise the work while the walls are open.
Do we get reimbursed for this after, or is this all part of their project? We just had to approve it.
Depends how you look at it. So we did the authorization under Chapter 12, but then also we're getting $2 million in grant funds from Rowan University. I just provided them with our wiring instructions a week and a half ago. So they're going through their payment process to provide the money to us. So that,
but at the end, though,
because until we get that money, certain things will have to be held on hold.
Is this an upcharge now?
No, it's
going to wash.
It's going to wash. So
okay, that's
what it is.
That's right.
Yeah, no increase to the budget.
Okay, that's what we want.
And it's a building being built for Rowan University, and the county will ultimately own it, but they'll pay us rent.
They'll pay, yeah, it'll be lease payments, and then at the end of the lease, then the university would have the option to buy it for $1, I remember.
And we will continue to own the real estate.
We will continue to own the real estate. And that's different than the normal buildings on the college that are Rowan College of South Jersey, Gloucester, and Cumberland together. This one's a Rowan University building.
Yeah. Gotcha. One more thing. 14.9, that's PLATT, right?
Yeah.
But this one, there's no E in there. I'm a very big OCD. Excuse me.
That's what it is.
now, be nice. Okay.
14500, resolution authorizing assignment of the litigation matter of Perry A. Wilcox versus County of Cumberland et al., Superior Court of New Jersey, Special Civil Part, Cumberland County.
Good job.
Do you want to say
This is
so?
an assignment of a new piece of litigation. There's very little to say because I don't know more than the fact that we've received it. Arising out of the jail.
Thanks, Jeremy.
14501, resolution authorizing the Cumberland County Departments of Human Services and Workforce Development to provide youth service programs funded by the Juvenile Justice Commission. 14502, resolution authorizing application to New Jersey Transit and the Department of Transportation, United States of America, for the calendar year 2024 on behalf of the Cumberland County Office on Aging and Disabled for a grant under Section 5307 of the Federal Transit Act as amended. 14504, resolution authorizing grant agreement with the New Jersey Department of Transportation for the 2023 Federal Road Program, FAP 2023, Cumberland County, 00001. 14505, resolution authorizing increase of monetary ceiling for legal expenses in the litigation matter of Brown Clark et al. Versus Charles Warren, U.S. District Court, docket number 1:20-CV 5:30-7907 in accordance with NJAC 5:30-5.3 through NJAC 5:30-5.5.
So once again, this is the same class action suit that I'm going to be addressing you on in executive session, and this is another discrete defense that you owe in this matter.
We are making progress, right, overall?
I'm going to be reporting on it.
I know you are, so I just wanted, there is progress, so.
14506, resolution authorizing assignment of the matter of a complaint made by an employee of the Workforce Development.
This is we're carrying out our obligation as an employer in the state of New Jersey under the New Jersey civil rights law and federal civil rights law. When there are certain complaints made, they must be investigated. That's what this is.
14507, resolution authorizing renewal of lease agreement for billboard space on Block 501, Lot 32 on the tax map of the City of Vineland. 14508.
We're leasing space to advertise, or the space itself? Yes.
This is an old billboard that's existed for some time. I did look at it. In fact, Jeff and I did a deeper dive, hoping to maybe have a piece of property that the county didn't need. It could be excess and unneeded and actually unload it. It's a wet property. It's already got a billboard on it. We looked at it as to value. There's no market. I went so far as to ask the company would they have any interest in making us an offer. They did not. So what we elected to do was put it back on the agenda, saying, do you want to extend the billboard lease?
And you're saying it's where, but where's it next to, so we could, yeah.
Off the top of my head tonight, I don't have an address for you, but I can confirm it. I can shoot you all in the email.
Yeah,
It's in Vineland.
Okay.
And I can't remember. Jeff, have a better record.
I've driven past it, I can't put.
I actually have
You know when you see it.
I have a wetlands map of the property because I had high hopes of getting rid of it.
Get rid of it.
Yeah, I thought it was on Wayman.
That sounds right.
It was on Wayman, but I don't
Women
remember.
throw it out there.
I thought so.
It's out that way.
Who the heck's gonna see it but a couple of groundhogs?
I've seen
That's
it.
why we're grabbing the money. The company wants to extend and sounds like all we can do.
Well, it's next to the industrial park, is that right?
That's the other potential problem with the property that makes it less market.
14508, resolution urging an agreement between New Jersey Medicaid Managed Care and DuPont Nemours Children's Health.
I was assured that this is a normal course of things that always happen, so that they want to leave New Jersey or can't do business in New Jersey. We're urging them to stay here and work it out, so.
Can I
Patience.
Good.
Can I go back to 507? The address, only because I have people smarter than me listening. 40 West Weymouth Road, Vineland.
Okay, what's my?
Hey, was right. Thank you to everybody smarter than me listening.
Thank you, Kathy.
Thumbs up.
Good. So.
Number 14510, resolution authorizing and ratifying letter supporting phasing of downtownship sewer project.
Is the mayor and, well, I'll just relay since Mayor Rothman isn't here that he is very happy that we're doing this and the support of this project. By doing this, it's allowed them to apply for money, which they had a very tight schedule. They actually made the schedule and got it out. And they've been encouraged by the powers to be that they really look favorably on. There's no guarantee, but they really have some real heavy hitters supporting them to get this project done. And we're very impressed because it's taken a long time and a lot of determination by a lot of people to make this happen. And this commission also has been involved with that. So hopefully we'll see the light shortly. So
This provides a decent infrastructure, that entire neighborhood down there, and will be supported and hopefully develop into the things that the Mayor Rothman and Bob Campbell have so strived for so many years to get this done. And it's a good thing for the county.
See, this reflects well, if we run sewer water through this county, ratables do go up. People do like to invest in this if they could have a nice place to go to do their duty. And with that said, this encourages us to do other projects through the county and fight the DEP as much as we can, so. Good. Then I guess we're to the next
Public comment.
motion.
Do I have a motion and second to open public comment?
Can I just ask a quick question before we do that one? 14481, I think this covers the page, just for the adoption revision of the personnel. I was just trying to see, usually it's like bolded or something, so we know what's the changes or red line, but I don't see that.
So was it the
Something
motor
probably
vehicle?
Motor vehicle, yeah.
So the motor vehicle policy was really just to clarify the procedure. We've had questions posed to you as to the procedure for the removal of assets or the process of getting new. So it adds a form that everyone can use if they have excess equipment, or if an organization within the county or outside of the county wants to make a request, and the policy itself spells out the steps.
With the new,
If you remember, we've had vehicles that, yeah.
Usually it's like highlight or red. So I don't have to read
So
that.
you understand, so, okay. All right.
Do I have a motion and second to open public comment?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Anyone would like, go ahead. Bless you. Just state your name and where you're from.
Sandy Acevedo, Upper Deerfield Township. I had a question on the bill list. There's a payment for Shelter Planners of America for a feasibility study. I don't recall. There was a...
We did an RFP, I think, in December that I think we ordered in January. So they're doing a feasibility study on behalf of the municipalities to see if they were to look into doing their own animal shelter, what it would cost.
Oh, that's the animal shelter?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. Yeah.
Okay, I thought it was for humans.
It's a big issue, you know that.
Yeah, no, I thought it was, that's why I didn't recognize it. There was a payment for the Grand Hotel of Cape May for reservations for 3 rooms. Do you know what that was for?
Is there anything else on it?
It just says Cumberland County Reserve 3 rooms, $3,051.
I can follow up. My guess is it's this conference.
County Association of Taxation has their conference there.
That's it. Yep.
What was that again?
The county, or the State Association of County Taxation Boards has a conference there in August. So I believe that's what that's for.
Okay, thank you. On another note, on the Upper Deerfield Township agenda for August the 17th is a public hearing and an ordinance to not renew one of 3 contracts for their firehouses that support our township. All 3 firehouses are 100% volunteer, and when compared to the safety of our schools, daycare centers, and residential and business properties, the township's cost to support this community is minimal. The subcommittee report is biased at best and seems personal in nature. And I asked this board tonight to contact Mayor Crilly and the subcommittee that prepared the report and ask them to take a pause on this action until the public has a chance to weigh in on their needs as residents of Upper Deerfield Township and Cumberland County. I would appreciate if you could do something.
Actually, it's up to, I'll leave it up to the individual commissioners if they want to ask. I've already kind of asked them about it because people have approached me about it. The one thing, you say minimal, they have to buy the expense of 3 pieces of equipment over $180,000 a piece. So there's 3 for each. So they're trying, they looked at that. That was that study. I didn't read the study, so I apologize. But they also pointed out
I
that...
have a copy if you'd like to read it.
That's fine, I appreciate that. they also pointed out that volunteers are, it's getting harder and harder, and the age of the volunteers going up, that they're worried that they would have coverage. Now, I don't know how the breakdown is, but I'm just telling you what they said to me, that they figured that in order to spread the volunteers better, more efficiently, they could do they could cover the area. The explanation, they said they did a study, and that's how they determined which one to close, but they're weighing all the factors. So I'll throw it to every board member here, if you would like to talk to Upper Deerfield, their commission, and they can explain to you what they thought. I did because I had people call me about it. So, and then you guys can weigh in what you think from there, from what your opinion you deem. Is that acceptable? I mean,
It's acceptable, but I'm not real sure there.
I'm not clear as to all the details. And I'm not sure what the issue is, but I'd rather, if we could have just some information. I know staff is hugely busy now, but I think the request, I don't have a problem with the request, I just don't have the information. And I'd like to be able to give a response to it.
Right, and that's why a pause may be appropriate at this time, so the...
Do you that report, do you mind?
It's in my car, I'll
Then we can maybe give copies to each, the commissioner can get a copy.
Give an opinion on it?
Yeah, they're using surveys as facts. They're taking a 4-month time frame as opposed to several years worth of calls, and they're closing the busiest fire station in the township.
That's what Carl's...
No, it's the one in Seabrook, where you've got your schools, you've got daycare centers, you've got new homes that come up behind Countryside Village. That's a very highly populated area and a bad area to not be represented.
Carl's Corner is Seabrook itself. Oh, okay.
So
they have one at Carl's Corner, they have one at Seabrook.
Exactly. Just more information would be helpful.
They call it Deerfield, but it's out there off 540 and 77. And
there's one in the north part, there's one in the middle, and there's one.
Great.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, if you could do anything, we'd appreciate it. You've got a lot of people showing up at the meetings, voicing their concern, and I'm not sure it's going on.
That's fine.
Open ears.
Like you say, you get calls, so.
And one other question, on the county resolutions, when it lists a sponsor of a resolution, what does that mean when someone sponsors a resolution?
So it's referring to the department that asked for it.
Yeah.
Well, there's a department on there, but there's also commissioners that are listed as sponsors.
Was that on a certain one that you saw?
On the ratifying an agreement with I believe it was the Board of Social Services.
Well, there may be liaisons, maybe they're liaisons to the department.
What number? Do you remember?
Was it the 22355?
First one right off the bat.
It was it just says resolution 2023-554. And on the resolution that came up online, there were sponsors listed, commissioners. I was just wondering what that might mean.
It was an old feature that was used years ago, but I guess sometimes if you had like a templated one that you brought forward and then edited it, that may have carried forward too, but we don't really use that anymore. It's back, like if certain liaisons had, like say liaison to Public Works, they would be the sponsors of the Public Works related resolutions. But right now we don't have the agenda structured that way. So it's an old feature that's not currently, but it's something may have snuck through.
All right, thank you.
There's something there so you can ask a question. Thank you.
It's not on our resolution.
Yeah. That's what I was looking for.
I just saw something else.
554?
Yeah, this is
That's it's got actually
Now, I remind you on the consent agendas that you have a week to kind of decide if you have a conflict. Please say something. You can take it off yourself, call the staff. A week after that, you have to let me know. And if you have a conflict, we'll take it off. the goal is to make it just smooth, so just please take a look at that and see if there's something that jumps out at you. Okay. Oh, sorry, Ms. Ridgway, go ahead.
Good evening, Nancy Ridgway from Upper Deerfield and Fairfield Townships. You just took some words right out of my mouth. Thank you. The only thing other than removing things from the consent agenda, there is a lot of things in the agenda that are routine, and I suggested once before, and I'll suggest it again, that some of the routine items we could approve at this work session meeting. Therefore, we would save paper and ink from printing up the whole agenda the second time for the main meeting at the end of the month. That's my suggestion. Plus, everybody, don't forget, you got to take your stuff off the consent agenda right now.
They have a week. They have actually 2 weeks.
No, I thought it was right now.
No.
Because when we have the next meeting, last meeting, you told people that they couldn't remove things from the agenda, that it was either a yes or no.
No, that was at the very end. I said they have a week to take it off. This week coming up, they can decide they have a conflict, we'll take it off. A week after that, it's my prerogative to take it off. The goal is just that we just make it smooth, that's all. So they actually have really up to the meeting to decide to take it off. I'd rather not wait till up to the meeting, though.
So my question, well, because it was changed last week to me, how about if I have 5 minutes before the meeting, I have some issue?
It's up to me if we're going to take it off. So, okay, we want to avoid that. So just look, we have a week to kind of tell the staff to take it off, so.
So just,
I was going to say, I already had a conversation. Go ahead, John.
my caveat is you as commissioners have a legal obligation to identify if you have a conflict, notwithstanding the internal rule, right?
Right.
So
Just
nothing that you set by way of rule would overcome that if you are charged with a conflict of interest. So talk to me early and often. and I'll try to
Just
help.
similar to what I did last week. But it could happen.
Okay. Come on, you're cutting into my 5 minutes. I want to get back to the 700 Archer Street. It's not among the safest area in the city, but it's not the worst as far as crime is. And I am indifferent to the idea of occupying this building. It does sound like a good idea and a money saving, but Millville was promised revitalization when the college built the building on High Street. There was a promise of 500 people on the street. Although the new college building is a beautiful and safe building, 500 people are yet to show up. Just saying, I am not sure county departments taking over an old school can clean up the area, and I'm not sure about the revitalization. And like Dean said, these words might come back to haunt you.
Well, then, let me correct my words. My words are simply, we're going to consolidate in this building. We have operations spread out to the city of Millville that I would like to bring together for better management. The peripheral of that is that us being in that neighborhood may change that neighborhood. That I do say, and say clearly. I'm big on neighborhoods, big on downtowns. And if this helps the city of Millville revitalize, then I'm well-intended side effect of that. I'm in favor of that.
But also, when we sold the glass house on Route 49, and we came here as our administration building, I was told that we were moving here because the government was downsizing.
Okay.
We keep hiring people.
Good evening, everybody. Jennifer Webb McCrae here in my capacity as county prosecutor. Two comments I wanted to make, or 3 comments actually. I want to thank the fire police for the services that you do. I haven't had the pleasure to interact with you personally, but I appreciate what you're doing on behalf of law enforcement in the community, so thank you for that.
Thank you.
With respect to the dirt bike ride, I have actually taught for attorneys, but also been in several meetings where the ATV dirt bike issue is a huge issue throughout the state. Recently got a complaint from a citizen about that. I said if you see them, let your local police department know about it. But we know the pursuit laws are in place for a reason. That it's very dangerous to pursue ATVs and dirt bikes for the general public as well as the folks on the dirt bikes. So there's very limited things that we can do. So one of the solutions that we've been talking about at the state level is encouraging and identifying places where people can ride ATVs and dirt bikes recreationally. So I'm very interested to learn more about this location, which I have road pass as well, and to determine if there's a way where we can steer the folks that are riding the bikes on the roads illegally, because it is not legal to ride them on the roads, to that recreational activity. So I will lend myself for that purpose, and if you hear anything, I would like to know about it, because we want to keep people safe, let them have fun, but also make sure that the traffickers on the road riding legally are not distracted by ATVs and dirt bikes.
Have we ever tried drones to follow riders to their house and actually charge them? Because some of these are, and I've said this to you, the idea of it affects their driver's license, that they want to drive on the middle of the road, and you can come any day on Park Avenue and they're right in the middle of the road, with traffic coming the other direction. So dangerous to everybody, because
absolutely. And sometimes at nighttime as well. Sometimes at nighttime without the proper lights.
That's right.
My question would be is that, this New Jersey Motorsports event sounds like more of a legitimate riders, where we have more of an issue, I think, with illegitimate riders that don't care where they actually take their vehicles. Because I was on Elmer Road not too long ago, one of them took me out. And they do it a wheelie, no less. And I think that type of rider, that I can't qualify who they are, they've got to be underage, otherwise or they could be of age maybe, I don't know.
I've had experiences with overage individuals. I actually just rejected someone from PTI who was eluding the police because of the nature of, saying that it's very dangerous what happens with the ATVs and the dirt bikes. So I wouldn't qualify it and say it's just a young person's issue. I think there are adults that are doing it. The discussions in our work group have been is that there are very few places where they are allowed to ride, because they're very deleterious to our state parks and our wildlife management areas, and it's illegal to ride them in them as well. Absolutely.
Now, do you feel that there may be nefarious other things going on along with the riding?
I don't know that I can make that connection. I think the fact that many people are riding around with masks on, and that's allowable now, and encourages people to do it because they know they won't be identified, and they know that the police are restricted as to when they can actually pursue.
Basically off the table.
So back to the director's question about drones, there are very strict reasons why law enforcement can use drones. I haven't read the drone policies in a while, so I would have to go back and look at that, and I will do that and can answer your question.
So as far as using drones to follow someone there's
issues with privacy with drones as well, and I am aware.
To have that over people, correct?
Well, I think it's more searching people's home areas and what have you. So I will take a look and see what restrictions are out there and then report back.
Question, has anything been done regarding point of sale? They're selling them.
Well, not as much there's an issue with point of sale because there are certain states that issue licenses, and then people claim here that they have them legally because they have those licenses. There are circumstances where we can seize them, But I can tell you that in the few circumstances that we have done that, you would not believe the calls I get from community members saying, it's not the parents' fault. You know, why the police sees it. So you have these balancing things that we have to take into consideration. You can also fine for them. But again, then I get the calls from the community that we're fining $1,000 or $2,000 or $5,000 for them. So there is a balancing act to be had. It is an issue that's concerning throughout the state. And when you mentioned that they were having this event and there is a location where they can do it legally, perhaps we can publicize that more and maybe reduce the folks that are doing it illegally. And then my last comment is about the consent agenda. I'm not criticizing what you're doing. I'm just confused because I'm here because I want to know if one of my matters is taken off the consent agenda so I can be prepared in 2 weeks with either staff people or staff people answering to me so that I can answer your questions. Hearing that you can take it off the consent agenda to the day before the meeting, how are we as department heads going to know that it's taken off the consent agenda so that we need to, number one, be here to answer the questions and make sure that we have the proper staff or the information that we need to address the commissioner's concerns?
If it's on the consent agenda, we agree with what you're trying to do. The reason would be if there's a conflict or someone has a question and hopefully they're contacting you or talking to you about it. It's done in many places besides here. It actually was done in a different way here to remove things from consent agenda to be addressed. I did that several times, as you know. Had a question about it that when they're lumping everything together. The goal is to be clearer that these are consent. We really agree with it, have no issue. But right now, this is the first part, the first step, and we're okay with it. But there may be something that we have a question or something come up, and we will remove it. Then we're not just saying we're not voting a blank check for all these. This one's getting removed, and we're going to actually talk about it and vote individually on it. So
is there going to be a protocol or a process where county administration alerts us that after the work session, our matter was taken off the consent agenda? Because that's the only way we would know to be prepared for this meeting.
So if a resolution involving your office is pulled from the consent agenda and placed on the normal agenda, you would like county staff or you would like someone from the office, the administration, to contact you and say that has been done?
Please. Thank you.
I don't think, I'm not going to speak yet for Kathy and Kim, but I think in all probability that's something that can be done if the commissioners don't have a problem with that.
Sure.
I should think that's prudent. I know that you have asked for clarification on that before, so that is a prudent.
That's fine.
Thank you.
Dean Hawk again, Upper Deerfield. Not to beat a dead horse, but on these motorcycles, in Upper Deerfield, we've been going around about this for a couple of years. As a matter of fact, we've had the top guy at that station visit. We also have a retired state trooper on our board. And we've been going through this completely, and we haven't really any idea either. You know, we beat it to death, and it is so frustrating because the state police will just say, don't chase them. One thing that Upper Deerfield does, which I think is very, very interesting, is if people are caught riding those bikes on fields that belongs to someone, many times the driver will say, oh, wait a minute, the owner said I could do this.
Double letter.
Upper Deerfield has a law, whatever you want to call it, that if the person says that, he has to have a signed approval by the guy that owns the land. Otherwise, pardon?
That's probably not true. Yeah.
Well, no, at least they got something.
The sad fact that it really is that The police, well, law enforcement themselves, their hands are tied.
They're told not to do it, yeah.
Their hands are tied by state law and insurance reasons. And I don't blame the police officers because they don't want to end up on the, like we had newspapers. They don't want to end up on the front of the newspaper saying they hurt a kid, or not even so much a kid,
Yeah.
10, 15, 18 years old, causing a death or an injury, and he gets sued because they want to take away his ability to do his job.
Yeah.
And this is the biggest problem that we have in law enforcement. Things will have to change. Prosecutor knows this probably better than anybody else. Things have to change in order to have this pursuit. Drones are a good idea. They at least will allow you to chase the vehicle to find out where it's being housed. Then you maybe can seize it at that point in time. But again, there's a lot of digging to do again with individuality and also privacy. So it's frustrating. It happens on my street. There's 3 kids on the end of my off the Dante Avenue that do it all the time. And personally, it makes me angry where I'd like to do something about it at the time, but you know, who's the person to lose the most?
Yeah.
The person who has something the most will lose.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. And the same thing with the police officers. They have the most to lose. They have their reputation, they have their jobs, their families, and unfortunately, you know, their hands are tied, and I really
I was thinking it'd be a good idea if you had these little signs they put by the road that say you're going 35 miles an hour, or 35 miles an hour, you're doing 70, or you're doing 36, and everybody just goes by them, and they say, interesting. How about if we just use them to take pictures of the people?
In the city environment is a big problem. Actually, they come around me right next to the courthouse and City Hall just to challenge the police department. And you see 4 or 5 just go around the police station and they take off. And I recognize some of those kids. And I sat down and talked to them and their grandparents, because I went to school with them. And I said, listen, your kid is doing that. And you know what? It's just a challenge. They know you can't be chasing. So now we're going to challenge the police department. And it's fun to them.
Yeah.
Until somebody gets hurt.
Somebody gets hurt.
And even if they get caught, big deal. What is it?
This is interesting. This is a universal issue. Everybody in this county is impacted. This is what's amazing me. There is a corner of the county that's not impacted. We live right in inner city Bridgeton, and we have them running. I mean, I was in Millville the other day. Downtown, it's right down.
And they're in a motorcycle, they're running on one wheel.
Yeah.
And they're on a four-wheeler, they're riding on the two-wheeler.
Have you seen the one-wheelie? Oh my God.
Oh my God, they go blocks and blocks and blocks.
I'm glad you offered to at least be a part of the discussion.
What's that?
Sandy Acevedo, Upper Deerfield Township. I gave the copy of the report. She's made copies for you.
Okay, appreciate that.
Just keep in mind that I was reminded when I was addressing them that it was during public comment, and so they were under no obligation to answer my questions, and they did not answer my questions, but I will email each of you my comments and questions in response to the report and the reasons why the report is lacking in important details.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? All right, see, no. Second. All favor? All right. Do we have a closed session?
We do.
Okay, and do we expect anything out of it, or?
It is not anticipated you would take action after.
I guess I'm jumping ahead here, so. We're gonna do treasury report next week, public comment, commissioners reports, we're gonna do all that next week. All right, let's go. Do I have a motion to go into close?
I have to read this.
Oh, go ahead.
Resolution 2023-558, resolution providing for a meeting not open to the public in accordance with the provisions of the New Jersey Senator Byron M. Baer Open Public Meeting Act, NJSA 10:4-12, matters relating to the purchase, lease, or acquisition of real property or investment of public funds, matters relating to litigation, negotiations, and attorney-client privilege. Do I have a motion and second?
All in favor?
Commissioner Pearson.
Oh, they're gonna call.
Yes.
Commissioner Musso.
Yes.
Commissioner Saleo.
Yes.
Commissioner Lodes.
Yes.
Deputy Director Romero.
Yes.
Director Albrecht.
Yes. All right, are we going to? Okay, you can stay here if you want to wait until we come out. We're gonna go.
This has been a QBC television production, in association with our partners and sponsors. QBC broadcasts on Comcast Cable Channel 22, and live streams its programming on Facebook and YouTube. All rights reserved by Quinn Media and QBC, programming that serves the South Jersey market.